it seems to me that I made a decision regarding you, and that I found you to be intellectually bankrupt with respect to any discussions that you and I would have.
So this just says that your entire investigation was totally biased. You know that that's totally untrue. How did you form an opinion how did you form an opinion that I was intellectually bankrupt when you talked to me for a total of about 3 minutes?
I reviewed the case and what you were attempting to do. I thought it was disgraceful.
So what did I do? So you're saying that Greg Simpson threatening that goons are going to beat up my son and me is disgraceful on my part?
I was over today talking to the prosecutor.
To Tekulve, correct.
I talked to him today.
But what I'm telling you is what you said to Nick Owens, what you texted Nick Owens.
I didn't text anything to Nick Owens that I can recall. He texted me something.
You want me to play the audio? You want me to show you the text message?
I'd rather leave, if that's okay with you.
I'm not going to stop you. You're not under arrest. But I want you to know you're not telling the truth. And that's why you want to leave. You want to leave, this door's unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
We'll escort you out.
Okay.
But you're not telling the truth. Your story to Nick Owens, your story to her, and your story to Andy Capel are all 3 different versions. You told Andy Capel that you were walking through the corridor of the Rife building when this gentleman approached you and said this. We have the video. That's not true.
The video of what?
Of you going through the entire Rife building, the building next door where you parked. We have all of that video. We've been working with the Department of Administrative Services. We have all that. We know nobody talked to you.
You don't know that. You hear things all the time.
But what did it come through? Like a carrier pigeon or a smoke signal?
People walk.
Nobody approached you.
You walk through the garage. You walk through here. You walk through the.
You said somebody approached you. That's the recording that you gave Andy Capel.
All I want to know is, can I leave?
I told you I'm not stopping you. I moved out of your way. This door is unlocked.
Right.
The only thing stopping you is yourself.
What's the problems here?
The problem is you're not being honest.
All I care about is Chris does never get hurt.
Okay, that's what we care about. That's why we're involved. We don't want anybody to get hurt either.
I don't want him to get hurt.
Okay, so what's the truth? Why is this happening?
I'm over here at the Claremont County Republican Park picking up some stuff, slate cards and stuff. People walk in all the time. They say, hey, this is where Hicks hanging. I don't know anything about it. Until you guys weren't even active when I was county chairman.
Greg, none of that has anything to do with
Listen
me.
Listen.
No, you listen to me. This has nothing to do with it.
I'm ready to leave.
You can leave.
Thank you. I'm not under arrest or anything.
You're not under arrest, but I'm not going to listen to you.
So I'm in Hamilton. I'm about to stop by the office of Prosecutor Mike Moser and drop off a card and ask for an interview. Mr. Moser is the person who did the whitewash on Greg Simpson. Curiously, he never interviewed me. When he talked, I think twice on the phone with me, he recorded me. But when Greg Simpson came in to be interviewed, it was not recorded. It was not recorded. That tells you everything you need to know about Mike Moser. I just put out today that Greg Simpson was reappointed to the State Horse Racing Commission by the governor because we like crooked people on these things. This goes in league with Jesse Kramick, who got caught in the park with his assistant, got a nice cush job from Mike DeWine. You see a pattern? You see a pattern in what happens. Stephen Caraway, Larry Householder, Lieutenant Crook, he got promoted to the Ohio Election Commission by Mike DeWine. So this is the way that it works in Ohio politics. All right, here we go. Here is the building. I think it's on the 11th floor, so I'm going to have to go up the elevator. All right. Guess I go in this way. Hi there, how are you? Is Mike Moser here?
He's in a meeting.
Okay. My name is Chris Hicks. I've wrote a little note on there, but I'd like to schedule an interview with him.
Okay.
Is there somebody that would handle that kind of thing for him?
They're at lunch.
They're at lunch?
Yeah.
Okay. So my mobile's on there and everything.
Okay.
So if somebody can contact me, but that card is for him. I'll give you another one if you want to give one to him.
Okay.
and then here's one for whoever schedules his press interviews.
Okay.
Okay?
Alrighty.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully he'll take me up on it, and he can explain his relationship to Mark Tekulve. He can explain his actions, and he can explain why he never interviewed me involving a situation in which Greg Simpson was threatening my son and me. And then he also then didn't record his interview with Greg Simpson. So I'm just so tired of these slime balls. I want to give him an opportunity to sit for an interview like a man. I don't think he'll do it because I think he's a coward. And I think he's a fraud. So there you have it.
That there are some legitimate questions, like, for example, why you recorded me, but when you talked to me on the phone, but you did not record Greg Simpson when he was in. There's also been some subsequent events where the sheriff's office was reinvestigating because he again told people that his goon story was true. So I'd like to be able just to ask you some questions on the record about your investigation.
Well, thank you for the request, and I'm going to deny that request. And thank you very much.
Well, then, Mr. Moser, I started a press company, and then I'd like to be respectful. I'd like to have you sit down for an interview as a public official paid for by the taxpayers. If you're unwilling to do that, then I used to love 60 Minutes back in the 70s.
Good.
Because you're avoiding serious questions about public integrity.
It seems to me that I made a decision regarding you, and that I found you to be intellectually bankrupt with respect to any discussions that you and I would have.
So this just says that your entire investigation was totally biased. You know that that's totally untrue. How did you form an opinion How did you form an opinion that I was intellectually bankrupt when you talked to me for a total of about 3 minutes?
I reviewed the case and what you were attempting to do. I thought it was disgraceful.
So what did I do? So you're saying that Greg Simpson threatening that goons are going to beat up my son and me is disgraceful on my part?
Well, you and I aren't having an interview today, and I'm not going to relitigate the case that you were involved in that I wrote an opinion on. So I'm really through with that, and I'm through with you. So there won't be a meeting, and there won't be an interview. And that's final. So thank you very much for calling.
Bye.
I think he's a coward, and I think he's a fraud. So there you have it.